The last time we checked in, only a third of the year had gone by, and then I turned around and here it is September. 2/3 of the year has gone by. It is time for us to check in about our New Year's resolutions. I'm Mike Quackenbush. This is Till We Make It. Are you passionate about professional wrestling? Do you have an insatiable appetite for knowledge? If so, I think you're in the right place. So consider becoming part of the community. Subscribe down below. That way you never miss out on a Till We Make It. The last time we checked in about our New Year's resolutions, it was all the way back in the month of April. And now we've only got a third of the year left. So let's talk about short-term goals and long-term goals. Way back at the top of the calendar year, I had laid out a short-term and long-term goal for 2020. And in the previous Resolutions Check-In, I'd already surpassed that short-term goal. Now, it's on to the long-term goal, which is to get myself into the best physical shape of my entire wrestling career. And in order to do it, you may recall, I had this two-pronged attack. Prong number one, adhere to the strictest diet of my adult life. Prong number two, get into the gym 5 days a week. So, as it relates to prong number one, after those first couple months, the new diet just became routine. There's some truth in what Charles Duhigg puts forth in his book, The Power of Habit. You can really restructure a lot of those things in 7 weeks, if not less. So, cutting back on my sugar and my carbs and upping my daily intake of protein has gone pretty well. And I managed to stick to only allowing myself a cheat day every 2 weeks. But as it relates to being in the gym 5 days a week and whipping myself into the best cosmetic shape of my entire career, I must confess, Till We Make It Tribe, this one's not going so well. At the very end of February, I had to undergo a series of emergency treatments on my left hand, and this severely restricted the amount of physical activity I could do in the weeks that followed. So that was even less fun than it sounds. And then come March, there was this public health crisis that only comes around every once in a lifetime, which you may have heard of. And the result was, at first, the gym that I go to was shuttered. And then, as the summer wore on, my gym went out of business. Now, can you work out from home? Yes, of course you can, even with minimal equipment. But does it provide the exact same experience that you're going to have in the gym with access to a variety of different machines? No, it simply will not. And the next closest gym to me has yet to reopen. And then came the end of June into July. And just to be plain about it, I had a few weeks there where I was in a pretty bad headspace. I don't want to bore you with the details, but if you've ever gone through a depressing period of your own life where you've grappled with self-loathing and shame, well, then you probably have a good handle on what those weeks were like. It was very difficult to find motivation to do much of anything besides get dressed for the day. So I certainly wasn't working out, and I certainly wasn't working on my 2020 New Year's resolutions. But if you're like me and you've gone through a period of that, once you kind of hit the bottom, you realize you got to pick yourself up. You have to find a reason to get out of bed every day. You must rediscover that motivation. And for me, that meant putting my focus back on this, the Till We Make It project. So, though I hate to admit it, the odds of accomplishing my long-term resolution for 2020, given there are only 4 months left in the calendar year, well, those odds are pretty slim. Does that mean I'm just gonna throw in the towel and not try? No way. I'm too stubborn for that. I might not get into the best physical shape of my entire wrestling career, but maybe I can get into the best physical shape of this calendar year, and that's at least something worth aspiring to. I gotta have some kind of goal to keep me motivated. That's how I'm progressing. But I'm curious, how are you progressing? At the very top of the year, I challenged the whole Till We Make It tribe to make 2 New Year's resolutions. One they could accomplish in the short term, and one that could be accomplished in the long term. And if just leaving a comment about your progress down below helps keep you on track because you feel accountable, well then do so. Update me. I want to know how it's going for you. And we will check in one more time at the very end of 2020.